Hi Taurus, and welcome to your June 2020 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about some of the energies coming in for your sign. Welcome to the channel, Taurus. I hope that you're feeling well. If you're new here, I so hope you'll hit the subscribe button, and if the reading resonates, I am putting together an extended on Patreon. But I already love the energies coming in for you guys, Taurus. Already your spread is like a breath of fresh air. I know you've got the Tower reversed coming up, but you've got some really wonderful, life-changing, abundance gathering, new idea oriented energies coming in for you this month. So congratulations on some of the great things that you are accomplishing now. So I love seeing Eight of Wands. You're definitely the only sign that got Eight of Wands this month. Judgment and Ace of Swords. It's like you are going to get something and receive something this month. Also, I like Three of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. Every single card except the Tower reversed is really such a blessing and benevolence for you. And I mean, the Tower reversed can actually be a great thing as well, because that says that, upright, the Tower represents kind of a shocking experience, something that we didn't expect, something that, boils up to a head and becomes an issue. But reversed, it can kind of be like avoiding a crisis, or really being able to diplomatically solve a situation. And honestly, Taurus, when I was thinking of your energy as I was meditating today, I kept hearing the word diplomacy, okay? I think that diplomacy is your best friend here. This is not really the time of criticism or, argumentative experiences, calling people out on their problems, or being sort of a force for stress, okay? This is more so diplomacy for you and overcoming issues through diplomatic ability. And I think that we can all learn something from that, because you are one of the signs who does know how to work with the energy at hand. You are a fixed earth sign, and ultimately this Capricorn triple retrograde conjunction that is transiting right now, that is really looking toward fixed earth energy for a solution, because Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign, but when it goes retrograde, it sees the folly of its forward linear paths, so it looks toward an energy like Taurus for reference. So you are really providing a reference point for us this month, so just kind of keep that in mind. With Queen of Swords and Three of Pentacles coming up, I think a lot of people might have their eye on you. I think a lot of people might be, really using you as a reference. Like, what would they do in this situation? How would they handle this? How would they move through this? What would be their opinion toward what I'm doing? So in that way, you're becoming a leader potentially this month, Taurus. You're becoming even a representative for somebody, or really representing somebody else. I think that you have a lot on your shoulders. And where is your own personal journey in this? Well, let's take a look, Taurus. I'm going to talk about the week to week in the month of June, and then we'll get more specific into how this is manifesting and what the potentials are. So in the first week of June, Taurus, you have the Queen of Swords rooted down by Eight of Wands. So great abundance and benevolence comes to you by keeping neutral and keeping things logical. Like, why am I where I am? What are the momentums at hand? What am I working through now? Not being too, I don't want to say, what do I want to say? Not too far on one side or the other. A bit neutral. A bit of neutrality takes you such a long way in the first week of June. Likewise, really cutting through the BS too. Really knowing what is your truth. What is the truth of this overarching situation? Because it's interesting, Taurus. Always, regardless of the time of year or the transits that we're dealing with, we are working with the individual. We're always working with ourselves. But honestly, Taurus, your energy is very at the macro right now, and I think that you're really working with a lot of people. So what a great time for forgiveness, and what a great time for moving on and no longer being inhibited. Queen of Swords is really about cutting off these past inhibitions that do not have any correlation to your present, and that's how you start to receive. That's how you get the Eight of Wands abundance, is by cutting off these things that no longer have relevance, okay? So really overcoming the past, really starting to enjoy the present, and being able to parse through and budget out the influx that you get there, because it's really like an influx in the first week of June. So if you've started a new business, an influx of customers. If you have new savings goals, an influx of money into your account, like as you save. Or if you've really started to prioritize time for a healing journey, an influx of physical health. I love Eight of Wands. It's one of my favorite cards because this is the time in our lives where we start to receive and we start to get back from the universe. So really beautiful, Taurus. Week number 2, Judgment, rooted down by Ace of Swords. Equally, if not more so, beautiful. Judgment is about a sudden realization. There are a lot of realizations for you this month as you get perspective. So this is like Taurus getting perspective. This is Taurus, because there's a realization in the 4th week too. And kind of taking things down a notch too. And I'll talk more about this for the 4th week portion. But there's a big evolution for you in the 2nd week where you realize that, okay, maybe this situation wasn't as big as I thought it was. Maybe this wasn't as groundbreaking or earth-shattering as I led myself to believe. And through that, you do some quick healing. Sudden realization in the 2nd week where you're like, whoa, that past situation, that past relationship, or this current goal, this current aspiration, that is not as difficult as I'm making it out to be. And I can really take a load off and lighten my weight, lighten the heaviness of my burdens by realizing that this is possible, or this is not as bad as I think it is, or that this change that I need to make is not as overwhelming as I think it is. So great, incredible evolution for you there in the 2nd week of June. Do not underestimate that. Also, like a reemergence, or even revolution of your own identity, I could see there too. You've got a lot of swords energy coming in, Queen of Swords and Ace of Swords. So this is very pragmatic and also very idea oriented, logic oriented, where it's not so much relying on emotional fuel. It's not so much relying even on motivation. It's like what you know and what you have at your fingertips, and your own history and your own projection and what it's been and how that pushes you forward. It's so safe, Taurus. And there's nothing wrong with that during this time. The energy is so safe. This evolution is so safe. Let it be. Okay, week number 3, you have Knight of Pentacles rooted down by 3 of Pentacles. Equally and incredibly amazing. Teamwork, okay? Investing in your team or investing in the people around you with Knight of Pentacles, even being able to delegate, or other people willing to help you, willing to help you build this thing that you've been wanting to build for a long time, perhaps. And if it's not about anything physical, or if it's not about business, I think that this looks like developing a friend group, perhaps, or also just really dedicating yourself to your craft. It could be too, because sometimes 3 of Pentacles is not always relating to other people. I mean, 95% of the time it is. But sometimes we almost have to be our own team too. If you're not able to be around other people, I'm not sure what stage the quarantines will be during that time. It will depend on each person and each location. But if you're not able to be around a lot of people, really start to establish your own inner team. Really start to understand what the main goal is. Because if you see the 3 of Pentacles, we're looking at this spire. We're looking at this column, and we're all building it. We're all making it beautiful. And it's the focus. It's the building process. It's making something architecturally and infrastructurally beautiful. And that takes a village a lot of the time. And that's what 3 of Pentacles shows. So sometimes we've taken on too much with 3 of Pentacles. One person can only do so much. So it might be time to expand again for business or for any type of project or anything like that. This might be time to take on, employees, or to, if you're a business person, or if it's like a project, maybe getting your friends involved or family involved in a way that, that can foster more effort into this project. Really beautiful energy, though. There's progress there for sure, and dedication. So week number 4. Here's the pointed energy. Page of Pentacles rooted down by the Tower reversed. So for everybody in the month of June, not everything is 100% perfect, okay? And your energy, Taurus, is by far the most advanced that I've seen of any of the signs, probably. And it's going to depend, everybody's chart's different. You might just have a very small amount of Taurus, and, you've got a lot of, Capricorn or Cancer energy, so there's a little bit more of a challenge. But 4th week, you're going to see how people might even be a little bit afraid of your progress, or how people might not really have wanted you to get as far as you've gotten. and there's like a bit of resent and contention that is also healing, and you've got to really be responsible with it and understand, like, if these people have not supported you, or if there's been a lack of support or intrigue or something, that is not for you anymore. You know, people who are not supportive are not really for you anymore. And people who have also dumbed things down or created, there's something about a catalyst, or there's something about a, you've had this cell turnover, or you've had this transformation. This is really kind of a transformative time for you, actually, Taurus. And sometimes people can resent that or resent other people's success. So if you feel that that is in your life, you got to just kind of move away from it, or you've got to just diplomatically work out of it, because Taurus was in a tough place over the last few years with what transits there were. So Taurus dealt a lot with feeling lesser than, with insecurities, with being taken down a notch by other people. And now that you're rising up, now that you're making progress, people can kind of be like, wait, you're the person we've always identified you as lesser than, we've always identified you as this or that. And they can think, whoa, this person's really rising up. How do we keep them down? How do we humble them? I kind of feel like people want to humble you this month, Taurus, which is not pretty, okay? So that's where your diplomacy and your ability to make small shifts at this time is priceless, and that's what it seems to come down to, where it's not about having an explosion. It's not about, telling these people how it is and be like, well, if you're going to humble me, I'm going to really show you how low down you are too. Like, that's the type of thing that we really want to avoid right now. Basically, is like a game of how high am I? How lofty and how status oriented am I? And everybody can play this game. Like, you're beneath me, you're beneath me, you're beneath me. Oh, you're above me. And it's like, whoa, where are the status things? So just try to avoid that, Taurus. I don't mean to spark avoidance, but what I do mean to say is diplomatically just kind of shift on out of that, because your energy is not really, it's not a necessity for you. You've already kind of overcome that in a way, but other people may not have realized it. So basically, you've got all these good ideas, you've got all these evolutions, these abundances coming in. Let those things take you right on out of any negativity or meanness or jealousy even, okay? So anyway, Taurus, on that note, I think that your month is going to be really wonderful. You have the best layout of any sign for sure. The most promising, most intriguing, most possibility-oriented, evolutionary experiences at your disposal here. So we're going to look more into that in the extended reading on Patreon. I'll get a central theme, I'll get supporting themes, and we'll understand more of what this means for you and understand how to channel this evolution, how to work with this abundance, how to experience these new ideas. If you're feeling a little bit like out of ideas or feeling a little blunted, we're going to look into that. So thank you so much for being here, Taurus. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I have a lot of links below. I have an ebook. I'm on social media. And if you would like to get the extended reading for June, you can click the center of the video now, and it is also linked below. Thank you so much, Taurus. Let's jump over to Patreon for the extended.